Hi, welcome to another episode of C-CityTV. I'm your host, Stefan Roots, and you're live at Studio 926. We're doing our 10th C-CityTV. That's pretty significant. Haven't been here since August, so I got a whole bunch of notes down here typed out. I've scribbled on top of the notes, and I'm taking a page out of Digger Phelps' book. I've got a red, color-coordinated marker, so I'll be scratching out stuff as we go. So if it looks a little crazy, it probably is. What C-CityTV is it's a recap of the popular blog posts that have been put on the Chester City blog. I've found this time around that some people have our blog somewhat mistaken as a breaking news type of a blog. It's not. It's the type of place that we discuss, we talk, and I take submissions from all of you so you can share with this vast audience of ours. One of the issues that we had to do with the Riverfront Ramble. I put a post out there making some suggestions as to how I thought we could tweak it a little bit to make it a little more entertaining and inclusive. And boy, did I get some flack. People called me up. How could you say such a thing? After I finished being angry, I decided to call you. Now, those same people wouldn't comment on the blog so you could find out about their anger, but they called me directly. One of them, in fact, said they wanted to do an interview to set the record straight, and then a week later decided, probably not, because some other things have transpired in that week's time that people wouldn't be interested in the ramble discussion. I don't think that's quite right. So listen, we're not about breaking news, we're about getting the record straight. So if you have anything to say, write it on the blog so everyone can see. And if you do want an opportunity to set the record straight, I bring my cameras wherever I go. No big deal. Alright, so let's get right down to it. We're not breaking news, but one of the things we like to do with the blog is to bring closure to a couple topics. So we never did bring closure to the Riverfront Ramble piece that people were angry about. And we never brought closure to Chester's Most Wanted. That was a topic that came up this summer where the police department is going to release Chester's Most Wanted. Now, you know, on our blog we put the Most Wanted from Pennsylvania. We put the Child Support Most Wanted, and don't tell nobody, but I'm about to take that piece down. That child support thing's about to come down. I would love to replace it with Chester's Most Wanted, but haven't seen anything from that yet. The other piece of unfinished news, I feel, is the recycling effort here in Chester. City Hall has decided that they're going to really bulk up the recycling effort here in the city of Chester, and they started with City Hall. All this time, City Hall wasn't even recycling, and they're trying to get us to recycle. Well, probably a good move to get City Hall recycling. And then they said they're going to move over to the Boys Club and maybe the school district and other places. I don't know what's so difficult about doing them all at the same time, but we're still waiting to hear some things on that. And in particular, it's about the trash cans that are used for recycling. If you want one, you can go to City Hall and get one because they're not going to bring you any. But we've also learned that they don't have enough if all of us went over there to ask for one. So they've gone to some state people and they're looking for a grant to buy trash cans for everybody to come over to City Hall and get. Or maybe they're going to distribute them. I don't know, but I don't really see this recycling thing having much momentum other than a little press release about what they're doing in City Hall. That's just some unfinished, unclosed news as far as I'm concerned. If anybody has any updates, please send me a letter, phone call, or put some comments on the blog. Okay, where are we going to go from there? Oh man, the big story this month was Shreddergate. You remember Shreddergate when the city councilman, right in the middle of the meeting, had that, I should have had a prop here, a trash bag full of shredded documents and just dropped it on the floor and said, these are allegedly shredded documents that the last administration had that dealt with financial records, which is the reason why the current administration couldn't get their audits done on time. I just thought that was so dramatic. That's just me, I guess. And then the city has reopened Deshawn Park, or they've made it usable, or you can rent it out, or you can use the space if you want. Personally, I don't see the big deal there because we have so many other parks like Chester Park that is totally underutilized. Memorial Park, which is starting to get a little burn. If Deshawn Park is something else we want to do, that's great. But I'm all open to anything that's going to keep the grass cut over there and maybe get that darn clock working. Okay, where else do we want to go? Anywhere here. How about here? Dre Clark. Our man Dre Clark has taken a job in New York City. Man, we're going to miss you. Dre is with ABC now in New York City. He was so gracious with his time here for many of you who had programs and asked him to host. He volunteered his time and his talent, and we're certainly going to miss you, Dre. Best of luck to you up there. I'm just going to go through the list here. Let's see, what do we got? Schools. School has started since we last been here. That's a great thing. Haven't heard a lot of drama out of the school district this year, and that's great. I had an interview with the lady who's in charge of special education, and she gave us a great recap on that lawsuit that was filed about we being cut out of some special education services, and as a result, any student who did not get the services or has even left school without getting services can actually come back and receive some services in school with outside agencies and so forth. I encourage you to read that post and to go to the school district if you feel as though your child or even yourself feels slighted or felt slighted in the last couple years in the school district when they didn't have funding for special education services. What else do we have here? Champions of Literacy. Not quite school, but Phil Herron, the editor of the Daily Times, and our beloved mayor, Mayor John Linder, are going to be honored real soon as Champions of Literacy. So if you want to go over to Harrah's and support those guys, that's a beautiful thing. We need to learn how to read. Let's jump into the business news. I love Fatso's Donuts. I'm there at least a couple days a week. I ain't gonna lie. I always get the low-fat glazed donut, and I love that powdered jelly. The cinnamon buns are to die for, and when he makes that apple crumb pie, I'm on it. And let's not talk about the muffins. He won Best Donut in the Best of Delco. Congratulations, Rick. He was also featured in a story in the Philadelphia Daily News. That's huge exposure. Speaking of Best of Delco, we also had the Temple Warrior Zumba fitness class that takes place out in Upland with Yana Walker. Best of Delco. Isn't that great? A lot of ladies and a couple guys go out there almost every day of the week, and we had a great video for their second anniversary on the blog. If you didn't see it, make sure you catch that one. What else is on here? We absolutely have to announce the opening of C&C Fine Foods. You remember John Doggies? They went into John Doggies, who left town, and they reopened the store with a whole big variety of foods. And I got a video out there, so I'm not going to repeat everything that's on the video. You actually hear from the owners about what they're offering and what they're planning to offer in that place. I just happened to go by there the other day and just to say hi, see how things were going. And I decided to get a little dog, you know, just out of nostalgia. And to my surprise, am I allowed to say this? They've got John Doggy sauce. They've got the sauce. The boss with the sauce. They got the sauce. It wasn't a hot dog. It was a mild hot sausage, which was even better on a roll with the onions. I don't like the mustard. It was great. Now, they've asked me to come back and do a restaurant review type of a thing, and although I know you, Carlton and Carla, I gotta be fair. If it's not good, I'm gonna tell people, so when you invite me over, you better make sure it's good, because we don't want to put out a bad review. Now, what is a bad review is that Charlie B's Texas-style barbecue place that doesn't seem to want to open. They've been trying to open forever, I think. I heard that they've been told that they could barbecue at the empty lot next door to theirs, but they can't do it in the store. Something's going on there. I don't know what it is. I just think it's a shame because he has a beautiful window display. Looks like he wants to bring in music, sit down, eat some ribs, have a good time. That whole area is becoming like Restaurant Row. If we're looking to revitalize downtown Chester, why don't we do whatever it takes to get something up and running when a guy is putting his own money up to open up a restaurant? I don't know what the issues are, but it just seems with Fatso's there, and then Charlie B's there, and then Showell's, whatever that is. I've never been in there, but I always see it crowded, so the food must be decent. And then you turn around the corner, you got C&C's. That's Restaurant Row. Throw a couple more spots in there. That's what I call revitalizing, but something's amiss. And that demolition of the Sleepers College was the biggest botched demolition I've ever seen in my life. Ironically, it occurred right around the time that the wall fell down in Philadelphia and killed those 6 people at the Salvation Army. Nobody got killed here in Chester, but does it really take June, July, August, September? It doesn't really take 4 months to bring down a building. And I understand that part of the wall or the ceiling was ripped out of the Showell's restaurant, which put them out of business for a couple months. What a hot mess. I mean, come on. Alright, that's it. I'm frustrated, but I'm not trying to let it show. We're excited to announce that Fair and Square, that new supermarket, has opened up on the west end of town. What's that, 9th and Booth, 9th and Trainer, out in that area. The grand opening was extremely grand. A lot of things going on out there. Over 5,000 people signed up for the little card that you need to purchase. It's a free card that you can purchase your food from. It's a non-profit market. And I think people are happy that it's open. I've been past there the last few weeks. I don't see a lot of people there, but there's pretty steady traffic in and out. So congratulations to Fair and Square. Let's see what else we got down here. No hoodies. You can't wear hoodies in a certain store here in Chester. Now, with all that hoodie talk that we had like earlier in the spring with that guy who killed that other guy, you would think that a sign that says no hoodies would be a little offensive, but people are still eating there, so I guess it's not a big deal. I would rather it say, please remove your hoods upon entering, or something a little more polite, but I guess folks just accept anything around here. And get your business online. Chester has teamed up with Google, so if you have a business in town, you can actually set up a website for free, a 3-page website for free. Put it together yourself, get somebody to help you. I saw a demonstration over at City Hall with Joy Clark, who was just thorough as you'd want to be. And I think I'm going to put together a website using that Get Your Business Online from Google. Check out the blog, it's out there, all the information. Alright, let's move to sporting news, the kind of stuff that makes me smile. It started off pretty bad with the Chester Panthers youth football team. Their coach went to city council and he was upset that he couldn't use the bathrooms at practice, and that the concession stands were closed, and that they couldn't park, and the girls couldn't, the cheerleaders couldn't cheer where they wanted to cheer. And the response from city council was pretty cold. It was rather cold. They did agree to talk, and I understand a couple days later they did talk and some issues were resolved, but that was like 4 or 5 days before opening game. You would have thought things could have been ironed out a lot sooner. But the irony of the whole thing is, toward the end of the season, the city purchased uniforms, or at least shirts, for the team. I don't know. The city also shorted the library a significant amount of money, but then go buy shirts for the football team. It makes you wonder where the priorities are around here. Girls volleyball. Did you know that Chester High had a girls volleyball team? I just happened to know one of the young ladies, and she told me she was on the volleyball team, and I said I'd go check you out. And I went to about 3 games, and they were pretty competitive. My only wish is that we would have like a junior high school feeder team, because these girls are pretty good just starting playing volleyball in high school. If they just had a couple years of experience, we can compete with the best teams out there. I'm certain of that. The Curlin Street Classic, getting back to the Chester Panthers. They played Upland, the Upland youth football teams, up at the A field, the athletic field, the Chester High School field. Man, that was great. I would love to see that become like a festival, like a real, bring vendors and food and all kind of stuff, because the people came and the kids really enjoyed playing on the big field. I would love to see that grow. What else do we have? Oh, the Sons of Ben. You know the Sons of Ben, they're that hyped kind of pep squad for the Philadelphia Union soccer squad. Well, someone's putting a movie together for the Sons of Ben because it's such a unique story, and I'm in the movie, and I got to see the trailer out in Westchester, and it's kind of funny seeing myself on a big screen. But the movie's going to premiere, is that the right word, premiere? In January at the draft for MLS soccer. So really curious to see all the different Chester faces that are going to be in that movie. Sports Spotlight. For all of you haters who think that I can't put out a paper whenever I feel like it, have you seen the Sports Spotlight? Man, I can spit these things out in my sleep. But what I decided to do was feature just youth sports. And the kids love seeing themselves on the cover and in the photos and stories about themselves. So the goal is to pick this up in basketball season on a really big way, get some sponsors and on a weekly basis. Keep you up to date to what's going on in youth sports, high school sports, and not just varsity. I'm talking junior varsity, the freshmen, the girls, the sports that you never hear about. We want to follow our players that are going on to college, and even our couple professional players who are in the NFL and the NBA. We want to keep up with our sports people in town. It was really well received, and I thank you people for giving me the comments and the encouragement to get the job done finally. What else do we have here? Can we talk about crime? The big crime since August was the pharmacy murder at that Rite Aid down on 9th and Highland. Now fortunately, no Chester people were the victims and no Chester people were the villains. Unfortunately, someone was brutally killed in our town. A senseless murder. Nothing was even taken from the store. Everybody was from, the bad guys were from Philadelphia. But the best news of it all was how the cops nabbed these guys within 3 days. Everything was over. So we're proud of the Chester cops, the Philly detective, everybody who was involved in the solving of that crime. It was another tragic, dumb criminal story. I'm glad it's over. Chester has gone to the old school policing, particularly up there on the Matty block, 21st and Madison, up in that area. They just want to show more presence, and it looks like it's been well received. Thank you, Chester Police. Big brother shoots little brother in the ass. Now that was my headline, because that's exactly what happened. A teenager, I think he was 19 years old, was toying with a gun. It accidentally goes off. He shoots his little brother in the butt. We haven't heard anything about the little brother. I hope everything's fine, but just get these guns out of here. On the subject of guns, we have the heeding God's call to end gun violence. I met these guys out at the Daily Times when we did our live in the newsroom. Is that what it's called? Live from the newsroom with Phil Herron, myself, the police commissioner, the mayor, Kenny Covert, Joe Kane, and the two folks from heeding God's call to end violence. They ended up having an event at St. Luke's, and the video that I put out there on the blog was so emotionally powerful, from a mother in Philadelphia who lost a son to gun violence in Philadelphia. Now, I have to honestly say, I was a little upset that so few of you watched that video. Oh, hundreds of you watched the Zumba video and the football videos, but it was tough to get even 50 views on the ending, on the mother talking about the gun violence that occurred in her life. But one comment said that people are just so tired of this that they don't want to comment. They don't want to view it. They just want to talk about the fun stuff and the good stuff. So I can understand that too. But I really encourage you guys to go back and look at that video. It is truly compelling. The Ruth L. Bennett house, I guess this is community news. It's almost finished. They had said it was going to be finished at the end of November. It looks beautiful. Have you seen it? Here's a picture. Isn't that beautiful? See how it used to look, and here how it looked now? That thing is great. Now, I was hoping to see a sign that says, opening soon, something. And you'd see like our state senator and the state rep and the mayor and the city council and the new proprietors or whoever's going to have the place, and there'd be a ribbon cutting. I still don't think that place has any intent to be used, because the people who are custodians of the place, the board members, I'm just going to bite my tongue right now. Listen, I'm getting out of here. I've talked enough. My name is Stefan Roots. You've just witnessed episode number 10 of C-CityTV. Make sure you check out the blog, chesterblog.com. Check it out on a regular basis. Comment, comment, comment. I'm not getting enough comments from y'all, but I'm certainly increasing the readership across the country, and that is so encouraging. We reached our 800,000th page view. Honestly, I don't know what a page view is, but 800,000 of anything is a lot. So stick with us. We're going to be back as soon as we can with C-CityTV. I'm your host, Stefan Roots. I'm signing out. Thanks for viewing. Bye.